tonight. So, I recently moved to Victoria just a few months ago, and before I moved here, people just told me that Victoria is only full of old people. But what they didn't tell me is that Victoria has eccentric old people. Listen, right? A couple weeks ago, I was walking around the streets of downtown Victoria, just minding my business, and this old Chinese lady, I see her 100 feet in front of me, and she's pushing like a cart full of French bread. I'm like, okay. And she like hollers at me. She's like, hey, come here. I walk over to her. She hands me 7 baguettes and a book recommendation to Marcus Aurelius. True story, 100% true story. She goes on a long wisdom rant about the wisdom of the Roman Empire and Plato and Aristotle, and I'm like, damn, it's a pretty cool old lady. Until she handed me a CD about how Islam is gonna destroy America from the inside out. Because what am I gonna do with a CD? You know what I mean? I haven't even seen a CD player in years. I can't even put a CD in my car. It got an old CD in there that's jammed, that's been in there for 15 years. But let me be honest with you though. If you want to feel dangerous at night, walk around with 7 baguettes. Because you cannot tell me that a baguette was not invented as a lethal weapon. It's like 3 feet long, hard as a rock. Look, let me tell you how it happened, right? It's like 300 years ago, the French are fighting the war with the British, and the British king is like, hey, yo, we need like 7,000 soldiers, and they're like, no, well, we got like 7,000 bakers, and he's like, it's good. We got them. Just invent a whole new lethal weapon. Some French dude is out there fighting with an English guy. You know what bread is in French? Pain. It's literally pronounced pain. Look, let me tell you how it happened, right? It's some French dude fighting with an English guy like 300 years ago. Has a baguette in his hand, hits him over the head. Pain, what's that, fucker? The guy's like, oh shit, what happened? His buddy's like, I don't know. I don't know what it was. He said it was pain. The French word was invented first before the English word. But, speaking of British people, I think one of my coworkers is secretly British. Every time I come into work, he's like, good morning. And every time I come in, it sounds a little more British. And I'm just waiting one day for it to slip out. Good morning. Good morning, sir. You know how I found out he was British? One day he told me, he's like, yeah, I don't like the sun. It's just too bright. But my favorite weather is overcast and a little bit drizzly. And I'm like, this man is straight off the boat from London. I'm just waiting for the rain metaphors to come out. It's raining cats and dogs in here. He's just gonna make one up on the spot. You know what I mean? You know how British people, they got so many metaphors for rain, they just be making them up on the spot. And you're like, yo, you just made that up, right? Like one day it's gonna be like, it's puddles and muddles outside. But hasn't happened yet, so we haven't confirmed yet, but I'm pretty sure, right? But hey, speaking of French food, right? French food is not as sophisticated as it sounds. Because, listen, right? We should have known that Canada was going to legalize weed when our signature French dish looks like it was invented by a high-ass dude at 3 o'clock in the morning. Poutine. That shit is our signature French food. Have you seen that shit? Look, they want to tell you that poutine was invented by some fancy-ass Quebec restaurateur. Look, I've been there. I've been high at 3 o'clock, at 3 a.m. on a random Tuesday, right? It was some French student chilling in his room at 3 o'clock in the morning on a random Tuesday, high as God's heavenly grace. He reaches into his fridge, starts getting random-ass ingredients into a bowl. He's got some McDonald's fries that have been sitting there for 2 weeks. His roommate's cheese, am I the only one that's always stealing my roommate's cheese? It's been sitting there for 3 months, you're like, it's expired, he doesn't even need cheese. We just put some of that in, it's shredded, right? It's made for, you can just take a little bit, you got a little packet of gravy that's like those instant little packets of gravy, I don't even know what you're gonna do with them. And then put some all in, throws it into the microwave. You know what poutine means in French? Mess. It's a real word, look it up. It actually means mess. His roommate comes in and he's like, hey, it's a mess, bro. But he was French, so he just said, quelle poutine? And look, right, that's why you need 2 official languages to make a stoner's mess look like a sophisticated dish. But hey, listen, right, my new favorite hobby is making fun of stupid little cars that I see around you, Vic. The other day, I saw this car, and it was literally like, I swear to God, it was this big. It made a smart car look like an SUV. I know this dude's favorite car growing up was one of those little kitty plastic Mercedes-Benz. Right? So listen, right? You know, at that point, just get a bicycle, because then you can pretend you got actual hobbies. What you gonna do with this little car? You can't even fix it. You're gonna have to send it to the Apple store like, hey, I tried to fix the battery, got too many little screws, I gave up. But listen, right? Imagine you in that car and a grizzly bear runs up to you. You're basically in a one-man tent with seatbelts. At that point, all I gotta say is keep a baguette in the glove box. That's my set, guys.